Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Cosmopolitan Education. If you have not subscribed to this channel till now, so please subscribe so that you will be getting all the updates for the upcoming videos. If you like the video, don't forget to press the like button also, and if you are having any queries, any doubts, you can write freely in the comment section. Okay, so now let's start the topic. Today we have to talk about monohybrid cross. As in the previous videos we have already discussed about Mendel's contribution in the field of genetics. Actually, we have talked about few terms which were important for understanding Mendel's experiments. So it's time to study about the experiments which were performed by Gregor Mendel. So first of all, we are going to talk about the monohybrid cross. As the name itself is telling you, mono means single, and hybrid means mixture. Whenever we are mixing two things together, so that will be called as hybrid. So we are using both these terms here, mono and hybrid. Mono means single. So why we have used single? Because as we have seen in the previous video that when Mendel was performing his experiments using the pea plant was having 7 different contrasting characters. It is full of different contrasting characters. So how many characters we are taking into consideration when we are going to study monohybrid cross? Only one. As this is monohybrid cross, we will be taking only one character into consideration when we are performing monohybrid cross. After this we are going to study dihybrid cross also. So as its name is dihybrid, so di means 2. At that time we will be taking 2 characters at a particular or at a single time. So that's why they are being called as dihybrid cross. But first of all, we have to study about monohybrid cross. Okay, so as we have to take only one character into consideration, so let's say that we have taken stem height in as for example. If we are taking stem height, this is the character for the pea plant, and it is having 2 different types of traits for this character. The first one is tall and the another one is dwarf. So as I told you when we were discussing about the important terms of this chapter, heredity, the very first term was phenotype. So these are actually the phenotypes, tall and dwarf, and yes, of course we have a proper genetic code which is hidden for this phenotype, that will be called as the genotype of that organism for this proper character. So how we are going to write what will be the genotypes for these 2 traits? So for this also Mendel has given one rule. He has said that if any character is having 2 traits, out of these 2, one will be dominant and the another one will be recessive. This thing also we know. So out of these 2 traits also, one is going to be dominant, the another one is going to be recessive. So in this one, tall is dominant trait and dwarf is your recessive trait. So how we are going to write the genotype? You have to take the initial letter of the dominant trait. Now which one is dominant trait here? Tall. And what is the initial letter of this trait? T. So that's why we will use T letter as for in the case of genetic code. So we will write 2 times capital T, because we know that the alleles, they are present in pair. So capital T will be written here 2 times, and for dwarf you don't have to use D here. Letter D will not be used, because in the case of recessive trait you have to use the small letter of this one only. For dominant trait you have used capital T, so for recessive trait you will be using small t. So this is the basic rule for writing the genotype, or for recognizing the genetic code which is hidden behind the phenotype. So first of all you have to identify which one is the dominant trait, and the initials of the dominant trait, that will be written as its sign, or you can say symbol actually. So if it will be written in capital letters, it is showing the dominant trait, and if it is written in small letter, it is showing you the recessive trait. And one more relation, or you can say what is the relation between these two? If dominant and recessive, these traits are present, if they are present together, one dominant and one recessive trait, so in that case the dominant one is going to express itself. This thing will be clear when we will be studying about the experiment. So now let's assume, for example, that Mendel has taken two different plants, one will be tall and the another one will be dwarf. That's why I have written the signs here, tall and dwarf. These two plants he has taken and they are crossed with each other. As we are talking about monohybrid cross, so these tall and dwarf plants, they will be crossed with each other, and when they are crossing, what will happen actually? This will form the gamete. So as 2 capital T is present here, the gamete formed will be capital T, and here the gamete which will be formed, it will be small t. So they are going to produce the offspring. These gametes will fuse with each other and they are going to form the offsprings actually. These are the gametes and this will be called your F1 generation. This is your F1 generation and these are the parents. So for in the place of parents, we have taken two plants, one is tall and another one is dwarf. They are crossing with each other. So as a result of the cross, their gametes will be separated. From here we will get capital T, from here we will get small t, and they are going to fuse with each other to form the F1 generation. Okay, so we don't have to stop at only one generation, we have to study many other generations also. So what will we do now? As we have got the F1 generation, we will let the F1 generation self cross. We will allow it to self cross. That means the plants which are having same genetic composition, they will be crossing with each other. That simply means this is going to cross with the same plant. Okay, and let me tell you one more thing which is very important here. So as you can see, the alleles which are present here, capital T and small t, so one is tall and the another one is dwarf here. And as you all know that according to the rule, if both the alleles are present, one for tall and one for dominant, so in this case also tall or you can say dominant trait is going to express itself. So which one is dominant? Capital T. Capital T is for tall. So that's why these plants will be tall only, as the gene for the recessive trait is also present, but it is not going to express itself. Only the tall one will be expressing itself. So that's why the plant will be tall here in the F1 generation. Now let's see what happens in the F2 generation in the case of monohybrid cross, as the F1 generation is allowed to self cross. So in this way also, now we have to find out what will be the products or what will be the genetic composition or genetic code of the offsprings of the plants actually which are produced in F2 generation. So as capital T, and see one more thing I am telling you here, you have to separate the gametes. If you have to find out the offsprings, or you can say that you have to find what will be the arrangement of the genes in F2 generation, for that you have to separate the gametes here. Capital T and small t we are having, so I have written them separately, capital T and small t. And in the next as the next partner also we are having capital T and small t. So these both of them will be multiplied with capital T and small t. So these are the offsprings which are going to be produced as F2 generation. Now let's see here, this capital T is going to multiply with capital T. This is the first offspring. Now this capital T is going to multiply with small t. We are having second offspring. Now small t is going to multiply with capital T. So you can write it like this also or like this also. These both are same. Okay, capital T is going to multiply with small t, and in the next case or last case we are having small t it is multiplying with small t only. So these are the 4 offsprings, 1, 2, 3 and 4, which we have got in the F2 generation. Now see what will be the phenotype, what will be their physical appearance, as both we can see here that they are dominant. Capital T is here, so this is going to be tall. Now what will happen here in these two cases, where one allele is expressing the dominant trait and another one is expressing the recessive trait. So as I have already told you that when both alleles will be present, in that case also only dominant one is going to express itself. So here in these cases also these plants will be tall and this plant is going to be, as both the alleles are small letters, so this plant is going to be dwarf. And if we are asked about the ratio, this is also very important because for every cross you have to write the phenotype ratio. So when we are writing the phenotype ratio, we are having 3 tall and 1 dwarf. So the final ratio will be 3:1. Okay, so this is going to be the ratio, phenotype ratio actually, in the case of monohybrid cross. And you can simply write the genotype ratio also, as we have got different genotypes here. So this is capital T and capital T, this is only 1 in number, so we will write 1:2. Now capital T and small t, capital T and small t, they are 2 in number. So 1:2, and here again small t, this is also 1 in number, so we will write 1 here. So our genotype ratio is 1:2:1. So this is going to be the phenotype and genotype ratio in the case of monohybrid cross. See, this is very easy to understand, but if you will try to read them step by step. First of all, we are going to cross the tall plant with the dwarf plant. They will cross with each other, they will work as parents. Now when they will be crossing with each other, first of all they will form the gametes. As only capital T is present here, it will produce the gamete capital T. Small t is present here, it will produce the gamete small t. Now these gametes will fuse with each other and they are going to form the F1 generation. Now as we have got the F1 generation, it is tall plant, so we have to find out F2 generation also, because we have to study many generations if we are studying heredity. So for that it will be crossing, or it will do self cross. It will be crossing with another plant which is having same genotype. So this capital T small t, this is going to cross with another plant of the same genotype. Now what will be the offsprings which are produced in F2 generation? For that, first of all we have to write these two alleles separately. These two genes will be written here, capital T and small t, and they will be multiplied by this one, both of them. They will be multiplied with capital T small t, capital T small t. So they are giving us the offsprings which will be produced in F2 generation, or they are giving us the plants for F2 generation actually. Now as we are multiplying them, we are getting these genotypes, and we have written their phenotypes here. This one will be tall, this one will be tall, this is also tall, while this one is going to be dwarf plant. So when we are writing the phenotype ratio, we have got 3 tall and 1 dwarf plant, so the ratio is 3:1. And when we are writing the genotype ratio, its ratio is 1:2:1. This is based on the arrangement of genes here in the F2 plants. So this is all about monohybrid cross. In the next video I am going to tell you about dihybrid cross, so stay connected for that. Thank you for watching this one.